Welcome back. In this video, we are going to see how we can use while loops, but not with counters, but actually with conditions that can change and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable called user input. Okay. And this will be the read ln so that I get the user input. Now what I'm going to check inside of this while loop is going to be the user input. And I say, as long as the user input is 1, I want you to keep going. So we need a double equal sign because double equal signs compare, single equal signs assign. Okay, so we're comparing two values. We're comparing whatever the user has entered with whatever we have inside here. So if we just use it like so, then whatever code we execute inside of our while loop will just be executed once, because we never check again what the user has entered, or it might even not be executed at all. So print ln, let's just say while loop, and now it just is in a way, while loop executed. All right. So as long as the user enters 1 in the first run, we will execute this loop. So let's try this and enter 1. And you see while loop is executed and we get an infinite loop here. So we should be very careful here. We need to make sure that we ask for the user input again. So we get the new user input entry from the user, because we entered once and the code was just infinitely running because we never overrode user input. So if we wanted to get out of the loop, we could either break after this, or we can use the user or get the user input again. So if I break out of this, it will just run once. This will not make an infinite loop because it will just say, okay, run the code. And then once you executed the code, break. Even though obviously you wouldn't need a while statement for such a simple situation, but let's just test it. And the while loop got executed and the loop is done. Now, if we get instead the user input, so here actually it will be read ln again, and let's store that inside of user input again. So read ln, if we run that, we're going to check after every single loop execution, we're going to check what the user has entered. So while loop executed, I press 1, while loop executed, press 1. So each time I press 1, the while loop will be executed again. Now, whenever I press anything else, the while loop will be done and the loop is finished. It jumps out of it and it keeps going with the next piece of code, which in this case is the statement that says loop is done. So it jumps out of this loop here of whatever is inside of these curly brackets. All right. So that's just something that I wanted to show you, that there are other ways as to how you can use while loops. You can use user input. You can, however, also check what the player's choice was. And that is going to be the next exercise for you. So as a little exercise, I want you to go back to our rock, paper, scissors application and see if the player entered rock, paper, or scissors. And if the player didn't enter any of these three options, then the user should be prompted to enter one of those three values again until he actually finally does it. All right. So actually, this is just going to be a rather simple application, but what I just showed you will be very important for you to implement that. So I wish you all the best with that exercise and see you in the next video.